Taylor in the water at Westgate. What's in the water at Westgate? Crystal Taylor.
Thank you, Mike. What? You get up and go to a club meeting every Friday at 7 a.m.? It can't possibly be that good. What exactly do you guys do there? Do people just talk about stuff? Guest Toastmasters and friends, that is literally how every invitation to Toastmasters typically starts. And for me, my conversion rate isn't amazing. I'm batting about 0.25, but today is going to be the day my rate goes up. So Westgate, let's see, Christy, Mike Anstad, Craig. Do you guys think I can convince a few folks today to join us here at Westgate?
Woohoo! Oh yeah,
I hope so. I hope so.
for sure.
Well, guys, I remember my first meeting all those years ago. Okay, it was only 4 years ago. I showed up and I was late. I stood outside because at that time we were live and they were already doing the Pledge of Allegiance. So I had to wait until after the pledge and the inspiration was over. You see, I wasn't as punctual as I am now. So I slid into the seat and I just watched in amazement as they moved seamlessly through this meeting. The table topics master even called on me to answer a question. And I was a guest. I remember it so well because it was about a recipe for the best sandwich ever. If I recall right, I named it the All In. And today, all my Westgate Toasties know how much I love to eat. So I told them all about my ribeye steak sandwich with the gooey cheese, the onions, the mushrooms, the toasted bread. You get the picture. I won table topics that day. And I was like, really? Nobody here knows this, but I was hooked that first day because of that ribbon. And then my first meeting turned into a few more. And a month or so later, I paid my dues, I got a mentor, and I was on my way to drinking the Westgate water. You see, I sought out a Toastmasters club because I was going to be facilitating a national virtual webinar series. And I tend to speak really quickly, or at least I did back then. I thought I better start training now to slow my pace. So I asked around and was directed to the Toastmasters website by a trusted referral partner. I checked out the local clubs and I decided to attend Westgate because my schedule is a little nutty and an early morning meeting is the best option for me to ensure regular attendance. Now, when I met with my mentor and learned about the Pathways education system, you guessed it, I kept drinking that water. If you check the chat shortly, my tech master, Mike, is going to drop a link in there. And you can click that link now and then go back to it after the meeting. That link shows the 11 pathways that are available to any Toastmaster who joins Westgate. And the pathways are kind of like a college level study on leadership. They're all based on the premise of what that pathway is. Now, when people hear college level, they get all frantic like, I did not sign up for all of that. But don't worry, it's self-directed, There are no grades or stipulations for completion. I selected motivational strategies because I was teaching an online technology seminar to people who struggle with technology. And boy, did they need motivating. And with the things I learned, even early on in my process, I was able to deliver an awesome class that turned into thousands of dollars of revenue for my business. As I began to give more speeches and take more roles, I shared stories about my life and my business. I provided feedback to help club members reach their goals. And so we learned each other so well that when I was approached about taking an officer's position the following year, I said yes. And I became the vice president for public relations because everyone knew that I had experience in that type of work because of what I do in my business. So can you say Westgate Water? As an officer, I experienced the internal workings of Toastmasters International, the leadership series, the speech contests, the speakers bureau. They literally have a speakers bureau. The leadership institutes make a huge difference for new leaders that want to branch out and get to know other people besides just your club. Let me tell you, Westgate and Toastmasters International is a well-oiled machine. The networking opportunities that year went from local to international when I became an officer. And let me tell you, I have never met so many people dedicated to helping me improve. All of that happened in just the first year. And I continue drinking the Westgate water today, which brings me to this speech. So guests, are you ready to change some of your habits? Do you realize that maybe you struggle to stay on task with implementing change strategies? Don't worry about it. We can help. And do you need to fit your self-improvement activities into a specific time slot? Here at Westgate, we're early, but we're timely. And so this 90-minute meeting is over with at 8:30 a.m. And maybe you didn't know this, but most employers offer release time because of the leadership training you find in Westgate Toastmasters or Toastmasters International. And at the end of the day, if the 7 a.m. meeting doesn't work for your schedule, that's okay, because there are several clubs in the area and on the Toastmasters International website that can fit your schedule. Do you have an idea of what you need to do, but maybe need some guidance? Well, you've heard me say it. We have pathways, and you get a mentor. Sid mentioned about his mentor relationship. But let me tell you, you're not just getting your assigned mentor. Some of my best feedback comes from individuals who are not formally my mentor, but who have taken an interest in my success so much that they give me feedback on every speech I do. Do you want leadership training and experience outside of your existing networks, but that are directly related to your work and your life? In Toastmasters, we have access to interesting and unique people. Everybody here is different. And you've heard a few of our toasties say what all of these people bring to the table. But one thing that we all agree on, we are all dedicated to your success. And you get to meet all of these interesting people, not just in your local club, but through area and district events, leadership roles, contests, and more. We now have a member who lives in Canada and brings her friends from Canada. If you were here earlier, you heard us talking about going to one of their meetings this Friday. So it just works that way in Toastmasters. So when you join Westgate, you partner with cheerleaders, coaches, fellow speakers, all working toward improvement. And you can do as much or as little as you desire. But when you do the work, the change happens. And we all get to see it. And not just us, your family, your work colleagues, your friends, they all see the leadership, the communication, the change in your speaking. But out of all of those, the most important person is you. You get to see the change. So I'm going to encourage you. Drink the Westgate water. Before today, maybe you didn't know what was available in Toastmasters. But when you join Westgate, you are in the safest place to fail. How interesting is that? This is a safe place because we're all here rooting for you and holding you accountable. And if you want to improve your communication, your leadership, your circle of influence, your speaking pitch, your level of comfort, let me pour you a glass of crisp, delicious Westgate water. This is wonderful, magical stuff. Now, who wants an application? Thank you.
Well done, Crystal. Oh, oops, wait, sorry.